Good morning, good morning, good morning. It's Stephen here from the Family Business Book. I hope you're having a great day. It's slightly overcrowded here in Istanbul, where I will be for the next 2 or 3 days only before heading off to the beach house further down the Mediterranean coast. Today's video is about a question that comes up from time to time in various different business forums. The question is really, what do I do if I have lost my mojo? And by this, I mean that you might be somebody who is holding down a successful career, either as a sales executive or some other senior management role in a company. Perhaps you're doing a little bit of consulting on the side. You have a family that's also making demands upon you. No doubt you have acquired a taste for some luxuries and expensive things, eating out, good wine, good food, this kind of thing too. Yet somehow, as time passes and you progress from your 30s into your mid-40s, you become disenchanted with the way that life is treating you. It's not that you're not getting what you set out to achieve, it's just that having achieved it, it's no longer providing you with the kind of fulfillment that you originally imagined. And the reason for this is, of course, that you have been sold various different elements of a lifestyle through your social conditioning, including your family. Maybe you're trying to get away from certain things, poverty perhaps in childhood, or maybe you were always relatively wealthy and you still wish to keep up with your siblings who are successful individuals. And as a result of that, you've learned to apply yourself in a very focused and deliberate way, but in doing so, you have screened out much of the rest of the world, including some of the more subtle rewards that you can get simply through the art of living. Now, in the old days of psychiatry, there was, and there probably still is to some extent, something called the nature versus nurture controversy. And this debate basically is about whether or not people suffer from various mental conditions as a result of their genetics, or whether or not they suffer from them as a result of their immediate environment. And most of the research these days comes to the conclusions that you need to have genetic predisposition plus social triggers. So, for example, if you were suffering from something like alcoholism, then you would have a genetic predisposition towards being affected adversely by alcohol, but also there would be social pressures upon you in order to encourage you to drink. So these two things then come together and they form what, if you'll excuse the pun, is a deadly cocktail, and you become addicted to drink, in which case you need some specialized treatment to get you out of it. Now, you don't have to become an alcoholic simply to become disenchanted with your lifestyle. Lots of people become disenchanted with lifestyle during their midlife period. Indeed, we talk about the midlife crisis when men tend to go off and look for younger and more nubile mates. So this isn't a new phenomenon at all, the quest to search outside of the current structures of your lifestyle. So What do you do if you find yourself in this situation? Well, I think the first thing you do is you go for some kind of traditional psychiatry. And by that I mean not that you go and see a psychiatrist, but you just go down to see your general practitioner, your family doctor, and you say, look, I'm feeling a bit under the weather. I've been overdoing it slightly. Can you give me a checkup and advise me if I need to take any supplements or other things that are going to enable me to be more energetic and more engaged in what I'm doing. This is the very first thing to do, I would suggest. The second thing is to take a really detailed inventory of what you're doing at the moment and what things are actually providing you with any degree of satisfaction and what things are providing you with any degree of pain. You'll find there are overlaps and some things will come up in both columns. However, you may be surprised to find that actually there are some things that you're really enjoying doing which are not giving you so much pain. And of course, the trick then is to attempt to focus more on those and to gradually wean the other kinds of activity away. Now that requires quite a lot of discipline and maneuvering, maybe political maneuvering if you work for a larger organization. That's political with a small p, not party political, in order to get into the position where you want to be. Now, I can't answer all of this question about what do you do when you lose your mojo in one simple video. And the reason for that is that I don't know you. Every one of us is unique and every one of us is individual, and our situations tend to be individual as well. What I do know is if part of the difficulty is that you're having tension between you and other family members, it's quite likely it's because at some level the family is saying that we aspire to various family values, yet in some way we're not acting upon those values and we're not actually engaging with that kind of potential. And that requires discussion within the family, and it means that you have to make time for it. Well, one of the difficulties that sometimes happens is that then you take yourself and your family off on holiday to have sort of this great time when you can kind of thaw out, but then if you've been overdoing it, you immediately become ill. And there are reasons to do with your current level of stress that have to do with this. Sorry about that, my cell phone's just received some kind of message from somewhere. Anyway, the whole question of stress on holidays maybe is the topic of another video at some other time. But what I would say to you is if there's tension between you and family members, then it's a good idea to tackle that by talking gently to the family members and finding out where your values are diverging. The methods for doing this are written in the family business book. Indeed, the family business book will help you regardless of whether you're owning a family-owned business or whether, quite simply, you're an overworked executive. The book is written, of course, for family business owners, but it has some wider applications, and you can use some of the ideas in your own organization as well. In order to obtain your copy of the family business book, just go to www.thefamilybusinessbook.com and you should be able to pick up a copy, either a hard copy, which will be delivered to you by Amazon, or alternatively the digital copy, which you can download right away. I hope this has been helpful to you. It's not uncommon for people in their 40s to begin to reevaluate their lives. If this problem is something that you relate to, take some advice from older people rather than younger people. Younger people will tend to encourage you to ignore the problem and to kind of pump up your energy and just push your way through it. And the result of that could be that in your 50s you start to develop some more chronic condition or illness. Whereas older people that have been through this particular stage will be able to advise you how you can retune your life and become more happy, successful and fulfilled. Anyway, this is all I have to say today from the Family Business Book. I hope this video has been helpful to you. I certainly enjoyed making it. Until tomorrow, goodbye. If you enjoyed this video, please take a moment to share your thoughts with other family business owners in the comments section below. You can also respond to thoughts posted by other viewers. Remember to like and share the video and subscribe to this channel. To be sure to receive notifications, you must also click the bell icon at the top right-hand corner of the YouTube page.